I don't know what I'm doing.
Hi, I'm Rory. My mom forgot my food and she had to feed me Honey Nut Cheerios this morning.
I could see it. Oh, I'm so happy. I finally decided to stop bullshitting.
You're listening to Speak Her Language. I'm really riding the wave today.
Block this off in your mind and do my doodly doos. But first, tea and pot stickers. I feel like I was meant to read those exact chapters, those exact pages, those exact words, like in this exact moment. The universe has been using things like written literature and music to speak very directly to me lately, and it's fun when it happens, just because everything that she is talking about in this book just very much speaks to the movement within, my internal movement, my internal direction. I don't know that I've quite found the words to express externally what's going on internally. And reading that, it's like it was put into words for me. And so it's helping me make sense of it myself to be able to share and talk about it. I think I might start writing a little general outline for the podcast, get a little organized. And I just remembered I also have to record a new intro. So we're gonna go do that now. More in the vibe now. All right, so I'm gonna sit down, write a little bit of an outline, get my thoughts in somewhat of a flow for this episode, because in this new season of the podcast, I want to ensure that each episode has an underlying message. I want to allow myself to go off in story. I wanna allow myself to go off in thought, because I think there's a lot of beauty in that. But I do wanna have one underlying message or theme to each episode. And so I want to really sit down for a few minutes with that, figure out what that is, allow myself to flow once I start recording. And then also what I actually might do first, because I'm excited to do this, is create the intro. So we're gonna do that together. I need to go get some chords set up. All right, so I already have the sound. I did this a while ago. The background music for the new podcast intro. It's really short, it's really simple. I'm gonna spend about 10 minutes looking through audios to see if there's anything else I wanna buy, or if there's something else that speaks to me. If not, I landed on that and I circled back to that several times over the last few weeks. So I'm gonna roll with that one. Like I said, I'm gonna give myself about 10 minutes to just kind of look through the internet and see what we can come up with. I'm gonna give it my first go. I don't know if I actually like this copy, but I'm just gonna record it and see if it's even, if it even works. You're listening to the Speak Her Language podcast with Megan and Michelle. An ongoing conversation about intuitive living, cycle tracking, following your inner truth, and navigating business. You're listening to Speak Her Language, a podcast by Megan and Michelle. You're listening to Speak Her Language, a podcast by Megan and Michelle. This is a space dedicated to all things feminine energy, intuitive living, cycle awareness, and anything else that life decides to throw. This is a space dedicated to living an intuitive, aligned, and embodied lifestyle. This is a space dedicated to living an intuitive, aligned, and embodied lifestyle. This is harder than I thought. So I've decided that I'm not going to have any type of voiceover in my intro right now. I'm struggling with the intro, and I even started kind of spiraling in that thought, questioning the podcast, questioning pretty much everything that I'm doing. So I'm backing up a little bit, and I'm just going to focus on what it is that I'm talking about in this podcast, not worrying so much about the intro. I already have the artwork done for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make all the changes in Buzzsprout now. That way, that when I finish this episode, I can just go ahead and upload it. Waiting for this to download. I might have another glass of tea. So I think that I did get my podcast intro recorded. Not sure I love it, so I'm gonna separate from it for a little while. I'm making another cup of tea, and I'm going to just chill for the next couple of hours. Putting weird expectations on myself, and I just want to keep the process fun and go from here. So I'm just gonna make another thing of tea. I might change back into comfy clothes and then go from there. Really riding the wave today. Hello from Pinehurst. In Pinehurst, in our apartment, and I woke up this morning feeling a little spinny. A lot of thoughts running around. I'm on day 19 of my cycle, and this time is usually when my inner critic is being a little more harsh. Especially, I feel like this cycle, I just hadn't been in the normal flow that I've been in the last few months that have made me feel really nourished and good, because I had the retreat, and the retreat was during my period, and when I usually rest and allow myself to slow down. So everything's felt a little off sync since then. So I'm acknowledging the thoughts are coming up, but I'm just knowing that they're not my truth. And sometimes it gets a little harder to do that than others. But what I'm doing today is unpacking. I've got a fully loaded car downstairs. So I'm just bringing stuff up into the apartment from Brian's parents' house. And then I'm gonna spend the day getting some of that organized and then going from there. And then I'm gonna get some like fun tasks done that I'm excited to do.
Hi, I'm Rory, and my mom, she's doing a lot of stuff and not really paying attention to me, and I kind of want to go outside and play. I'm a little hungry because she forgot my food and she had to feed me Honey Nut Cheerios this morning. So if somebody could report that to Protect the Dogs from Hunger Services, please. Thank you. The car is unloaded. Tuka is happy, and I am going to start cleaning some of this up. So this is what I'm left with. I think my goal today is just gonna be to get it visually organized, maybe by room or my stuff, Brian's stuff. I don't quite know yet, but cleaning up the clutter of it I think will be helpful. And then I think I wanna start working on the office to kind of create my space and set it up in a way, at least start the process of that so that I can satiate the craving that I have of a space that's mine to work and flow. Something that I'm really craving. It came up in my morning practice this morning that is my immediate focus. And getting the car unpacked, getting the apartment unpacked, getting the apartment organized, and setting up that space in the office is something that will help so many other things in my life that feel ungrounded fall into place, so that December can be full of flow and fun, creativity, and just good feeling. So I'm gonna get to work on this. So the bedroom right now is packing. So I think I'm gonna spend the next few minutes just organizing the clothes, stacking them neatly, not putting anything away, not trying to organize anything, not trying to go through anything right now. I really want to start on the office, but I know that if I get this room, it'll take me less than 10 minutes to just put these things in a way that is visually more pleasing just kind of get rid of that visual clutter. And then I will feel free to go in that room and start really playing with how I want to make it flow. And I will take you along with me, of course, but first I'm gonna get this room in order. I want to play with for a second. Do this every now and again when I want to feel like a boss bitch. Oh, come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Feather? Okay. You okay? When I want to feel like a baddie. Ooh. Ooh, she's got a pair of lubes. Don't really want to talk about it, but I have them. What's wrong? Are the lubes making you nauseous? Oh, honey. Every so often, to remind yourself you're a baddie. Bedroom, better, office, fun. Just give you a little visual. This is raw. This is really raw. So I think what I'm gonna do here, because when I look at that, it's overwhelming. But what I think I'm gonna do is get all of this stuff to one side, to this side, because what I wanna do is start visually laying out this room as an office. There's a window here. I'll give you a quick tour. Just do a little 360. Window here. Mirror. Hello, me. This is where I do my morning practices. Brian used to have all his hats hanging here. And dresser, bed, which we saw. So the way that I'm seeing this room as an office is the desk. The desk set in front of the window, facing out of the window so that the sun is on me. And this bed, I guess will have to be against that wall. I don't really want a bed in here if I'm being honest, because I really just want it to be dedicated to being an office. But the option of having somebody over to stay, friends, family, it's nice to have the bed as an option. So for now, I'm gonna work with the bed in the room, just giving myself a space to work. And then I have some ideas for the bed to kind of stow it away when we're not using it, but we'll get to that. So for now, I'm just gonna move all of this shit to one side, over to this side, and then rearrange the bed, move the dresser. I'm gonna temporarily use the dresser as a desk, and we're gonna go from there. And I'm gonna get this set up today so that I have a space visually dedicated to myself. Got the bed moved, and if I'm being honest, it doesn't really leave a lot of room for a desk. This room is going to probably be divided between Brian and I and what we want for it. I need an office space. He works out at home, so he's gonna need a workout space. I would also like to have a workout space, and I just don't think the bed in here is conducive to it. So what I'm thinking is if I can take the bed and tilt it up and lean it against the wall, and maybe we could have like a big white sheer curtain going across the room to hide it. That way when somebody comes over, we can rearrange a little bit. Might try that. I think that's gonna work. We would lose about 3 feet of room this way. So here, I'll show you. Whichever way. So the bed is just against the wall, and it's coming off the wall about probably 3 feet. What I'm thinking is like maybe a white curtain across, like just a sheer flowy curtain, which might even be pretty, as like a backdrop to record, stuff like that. We would obviously need to secure the bed to the wall because it's leaning forward a little bit. So I think this is gonna work, and it gives us best of both worlds because it makes sense that we have a bed in it. We want to have a bed in it. We want to have people over, but it like crushed my hopes of this being like this big, beautiful, magical office. And now that it can be, that is really, really exciting. All right, for now, I'm gonna leave the bed here like this and rearrange some other stuff to keep the momentum going of setting this room up. Okay, I can see it. I can see it coming together and I have room for all the things. All right, so picture this, a white, sheer, beautiful, I'm talking ceiling to floor curtain right here, okay? It's going all the way across so you can't see this. Block this off in your mind. Got the desk set up. I will probably keep this as the desk and maybe just put like a wood piece so that it extends over a little bit. Oh yeah. So I would just have this extend out a little. You know what, actually, what I would probably do is just use this dresser for like my laptop. Have like a top put over it. And then I can just sit here and do my doodly doos. Ooh, this makes me happy. Obviously some plants. This is also where I'm gonna be recording all of my things. Oh, I'm so happy. My heart is so happy. All right, so this is gonna be where I'm recording all of my things. So I don't want, remember, white curtain, you can't see that. It's gonna work out. This is gonna be awesome. I'm loving this. Oh, this feels so good. The natural light coming in, it's a no-brainer, you know? This is coming together. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can do this. This is good. I finally decided to stop bullshitting. That's not what I was doing. But I decided to just go for it. I got the office set up the way that you last saw it. I haven't really changed anything since. I sat down, I worked on a few things. I have a few private client calls coming up this week. I have a breathwork session scheduled for this week. And I wanted to get myself settled. I'm like getting into the flow and easy work. And I wanted to make sure that I'm set up for the week. Now that I have this office temporarily set up, it's definitely not the full design that I have in mind for the office, but it's a start. It's a place to sit on my computer, which is what I've been craving for so long. And the second I sat down, I like immediately got into such a comfortable flow of work. And so I steered into that for about an hour. I gave myself an hour. I told Rory I would be about an hour. I lied to her a little bit. But I want to take her for a walk outside and just go be outside. I haven't been outside much lately. We basically lived outside for a year. So I'm totally okay with being a little bit of a hermit, but I'm craving to go for a walk. So I'm going to take Rory to downtown Southern Pines here in a bit after I record this podcast. But I was actually getting myself ready to go for a walk. And I just like had this feeling in the back of my head that once Brian gets back tonight, he'll be back, you know, for the next week and around, that I won't have the opportunity to do this the way that I want to once he's back. So I decided that before I go on the walk, I'm going to do it. I just got inspired. I just want to do it right now. I want to record the podcast. I want to announce the new direction the podcast is going. I want to announce this YouTube channel. I want to start the process of editing this video. I would like to spend the next couple of days editing this video, getting it put up, so that I feel like I can energetically start this next season slowly. And I worked on an offer the other day when I was recording and kind of in the flow. The topic of living slowly was just very present. And so a workshop titled The Art of Living Slowly came to my mind, and I've been running with it ever since. I made a few slides for it. I started the outline of the workshop. I decided to launch it as a mystery offer. So The program itself is going to be $44, and I launched it as a mystery offer for $9.99. And I've had quite a few people step into that mystery offer and claim that. And it's amazing because each time somebody has bought the workshop, not knowing what it is, not knowing what it's about, I could feel it energetically. And I got new inspiration. I got a new download for the workshop. And so I'm having a lot of fun playing with the energy of this. And it even happened earlier, actually. I got the pool to like sit down. An idea came through from something that I either read or was listening to, but an idea came through for the workshop. And so I pulled up the slides and I noted down the download and like how I want to integrate it into the workshop. And I checked Stripe and another person had joined the workshop. And so it's such a fun dynamic, really feeling into the energy of it and what everyone is bringing to this workshop. So that's been a really fun experience for me. It's also really fun to note that entrepreneurship is such a journey for yourself, as well as the work that you're doing for people, especially when you're in the coaching world. I feel like my decision to step into coaching and mentoring was because like I needed it just as much as the people that I'll be working with need it, if that makes sense. And that's been really fun. So with all of that, the topic of slow living, the art of living slowly, is going to be the title of this podcast. What I'm going to talk about, first off, I'm going to announce the new name of the podcast because it used to be Happiness Looks Good on You, and now that's shifting. I'm obviously going to announce this YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about what's up in my life right now, where we're at in the move, what we're going to be planning on doing for the next few months. I'm going to be talking about the power of the pause and the liberation in allowing yourself freedom to pause and pivot when you feel like you need to. There's a lot of stigma. There's a lot of resistance against starting something and then stopping it, or starting something and then changing it. I feel that resistance all the time. And so I'm going to be talking about that in the episode today, about how powerful it can be to slow down your life, to pause things when they don't feel aligned, and just really getting into the energy behind that, because that's where my life has been these last few months since we started nearing the end of the journey on our bus. It's just been staring me in the face that I want to slow down and that I want to pause more. And it's funny because I feel like since quitting my job, A, that's what I've been craving, but B, I feel like my life is slow. I feel like my life is like a constant pause, and yet I still feel called to slow down more. I still can very actively sense rushed energy. And it's very much a theme in my life right now. And I want to talk about it. I feel really pulled to share it. I want to note that Instagram has felt so icky to me lately. And I think the reason why is because I am not feeling aligned with short form content right now. I am feeling very drawn to share. And when I try to go to Instagram to share it, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel aligned. It doesn't feel good. And I'm really excited to be bringing this channel to life. Even though I'm not using my camera, I'm literally using the front-facing camera on my iPhone right now. I have a camera somewhere in the world, so I'm using my iPhone to film it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting in a room. Behind me looks clean. I've got a bed leaning up against the wall. I've got shit that needs to be unpacked all to my right. I'm using a dresser as a desk, but I realized that the purpose of this YouTube channel and what I want to share, a message that I feel like is so integrated into my life that I don't even say, is that you can do anything at any time. You can start a YouTube channel, you can film content, you can pause your entire life and stop. You can completely shift your life if you want. You can quit your job, you can start a business, you can find a relationship, you can move states, you can do anything you want at any given point in time. And I just said this, but I am so used to just figuring things out and doing them as I go that it's not even something that I talk about, because it is so integrated in my life that I don't even think about it. Like earlier, for example, there was a bed in the room and I was like, that doesn't jive with what I want. And I want this room to be an office. So let's just flip the bed on its side and figure it out. Like living life that way, it's just second nature to me. And so I want this channel to, I want to capture that. And I don't think I can capture that in short form content, like on TikTok, like on Instagram. So I think that this YouTube channel is going to give me a space to share more in the way that feels aligned to share it. Because a message that comes through, I talked about messages in, I'll say an earlier video. It's in this same video, but it was a couple of days ago that I talked about it. But these like overarching themes or messages that come through. One has been to share. To just share, let myself be seen and to share. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'm really excited to do this more. So without further ado, I am going to record this podcast. This video is going to end with me starting the next video. And then the next video I publish is going to be the podcast itself. We'll see how it goes because we're figuring out along the way, baby. So I am excited to announce the next episode of Speak Her Language. It is going to be The Art of Living Slowly. And I'm going to go ahead and get my computer set up to record. I've already got my microphone plugged in. We'll do a little testing. Okay, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you do or don't. I literally don't know what to say here because I'm not a YouTuber and I don't know why my thumbs are in the air. So here we go. I will see you in the next video.